I'll be right there. I'm just gonna get us set up here. I'm gonna put myself on mute too because I always start talking on this. So just give me a minute. I'll be right there. Oof, you guys. All right. Things would just got like so crazy so fast. I have to tell you guys. Fucking, I'm trying to wash my bangs before our class because we had ritual this morning. Trying to wash my bangs before my class. So I've got like soap all on my fingers. And Magic is simply bringing the phones upstairs and the different things that I need to be able to do Q&A. And while I'm soaping my hair, I see that my daughter has somehow found a piece of styrofoam packaging, has taken a bite out of it, and is about to choke on it. So I go running over, and Tyga puts everything in her mouth. She always finds something, even if there's nothing on the floor, she'll find something on the floor and put it in her mouth. Today I was taking a bite out of a piece of styrofoam. So I go running over to get the styrofoam out of her mouth, can hook her. While I like got my finger in her mouth, I realized I have soap all over my finger from washing my bangs. So she's like, blah, 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 like soaping. Meanwhile, my 4-year-old, my 5-year-old now is like walking around the house going, has anyone seen a knife? And it's just like, it's so crazy, so fast. But you know what's like, I feel really kind of stressed today. And the reason why is because I actually like worked too much already. And for anybody that has kids, or anybody that thinks they might want kids one day, like please listen to what I'm saying and keep this in your back pocket because we've been told for so long that like if you want to be successful, you need to find a way to like be with your kids or care for the elderly less so that you can work more. And I'm like never stressed about work. It's very rare that I am. And I used to be super stressed out and I didn't know that I was. I would be like, if I'm freaking out about something really small, if I'm saying that like the way that you do with the dishes is a testament to our whole relationship, like I'm stressed. My husband would probably be able to tell you guys more about about how I deal with stress than me. But considering the amount of production that I do, like the stress that I feel is very small. And the reason why it's like this is because I cannot work too much. But my husband and I have been waking up at 5:30, and usually I wake up at 5:30, my kids wake up around 6:45. So that's like the max amount of time that I can work. But today my daughter slept in until 8:30. So I worked straight from 5:30 to 8:30 because I was like, what else am I going to do? Like grunt on my phone. And for those of you that are experienced with my work and how much we talk about formulating the concept of flow, not just being like, oh, I hope I'm in flow or I hope I'm out of flow, but actually understanding that flow has three formats: active, passive, and neutral, and making sure that you're getting a balance of active, passive, and neutral in the day. But today I went from active to ritual and usually I am tapped out of working. And active, passive, and neutral, this is referring to what's going on with you mentally. So mental output based on what you know would be active time. Do you want me there? Mental input based on what you don't know but are learning would be passive time, and a mental neutral is neutral time. And this is when I'm with my kids, I'm in neutral. When I'm with my kids, I'm just like in their flow, whatever they're doing. Are we playing? Are we cleaning, cooking, all of this? If I'm not listening to a podcast, I'm in neutral. And this is so good for like detoxing the work brain out of my mind. I used to have to smoke a lot of weed to like turn the business brain off. I used to drink a lot to like turn my brain off. Does anyone here resonate with this? Like, I can't turn my brain off. For me, like immersing myself into another project is the best way for me to turn my brain off because I'm a doer. When you take somebody that's a doer, that loves to create, that loves to produce things, and you tell them, oh, don't do anything, sit in meditation, go on vacation and unplug, it triggers a lot for them. It's not actually useful for them. Like they'll go really deep into self-loathing, and it's not because their self-worth is tied up in productivity. It's because they're a doer. And so flow for everybody looks like not forcing and not holding back. You take someone that's a doer and you tell them sit on your hands and don't do anything, they're holding back and forcing. They're forcing themselves to hold back, and they just get like crazy. And I'm a doer. You know who else is a doer? Beyonce says, she's like, I don't make music because, and I don't make art and I don't make all these different brands because of a money thing. She's like, I do this because I like who I am when I'm creating. When I'm not creating, I'm miserable. If you told me, oh, Nami, you worked so hard this morning, go and sit in the sauna, I would go sit in the sauna and be just like churning in the work brain. But when I go straight from working really hard into just like getting into the trenches with something with my kids, cleaning, cooking, making breakfast, playing, doing a project or whatever, within 15 minutes, I'm like in flow. I'm in neutral. And this is where like all of those missing pieces that I didn't know I needed come to me. Like, for example, I woke up in the middle of like the night last night, rest, neutral, and I knew what the next chapter of my book should be about. And I was like, great, wonderful. I even had the opening hook. It's like I had the whole thing downloaded. This is an advantage of not drinking is you get to access sleep time. But when I work too much, when I have too much active time, when I'm at the computer too much, when I'm on the phone too much, this is where I start to get really stressed out. I feel my mind starting to like harden into this groove of work-based thinking. And when I'm there, I like can't tap myself out of it. All I see is like the expanding to-do list. And I go into what I call like Hot Wheels mode, where like I'm a Hot Wheels car that can only go forward, where I'm like, what's the next task? And what's the next task? And what's the next task? And like, when I'm not interrupted, that can continue infinitely. And none of that work is actually even that good. Like I can bang out a lot of small production tasks, but if I was trying to do anything even remotely creative, whether it's like a graphic design or writing something or sending an email, like the quality of all that work by that point is just like bottom of the barrel. And I'm not happy. That's the main thing to understand. Like, I'm not happy. I'm stressed. I'm like, I have too much on my plate right now. So I really owe the happiness of my life and also the ease of my life. The word pace, like you're pacing, is the same root word as peace. Like Italian pace means peace. When I am allowing other factors of life, like my children and the needs of my home, to determine the pace of my work, I'm so happy. And I'm so like, I swear to God, it feels like everything is just being handed to me. That like somebody asked me the question that reminds me of the thing that I had forgotten, or the idea of how to do something. And like things happen really quick and really easy. And I know that I've asked you guys this before, but like the best set of questions you could ever answer for yourself is like, what does it feel like for me when I'm in flow? What does it feel like for me when I'm out of flow? And how do I get myself back in flow when I realize that I'm out of it? So if you've never answered this with me before, like go to the chat and answer it right now. What does it feel like when I'm in flow? So for me, when I'm in flow, I literally feel like I'm just floating through the channel of life and opportunities are being presented to me, never too many at once. One, I feel like I'm just coasting through life with these fucking waiters with their fucking hors d'oeuvres of opportunity, just being like, want a bite of this, want a bite of that. And it's so easy and it's so fun and it feels really magical. There's a lot of synchronicity. Everything's like ding, ding, ding. It's very like sparkly. That's what it feels like to me to be in flow. What it feels like for me to be out of flow is it just feels hard. It feels clunky. It feels like being in a mechanical to-do list with just one thing after another thing. Just the same where I feel like opportunities being presented to me, that but poison. Oh, Nami, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Just this like endless unfolding. And then I look around my life and I'm like, oh my God, I got to make dinner. Oh my God, I got to fold laundry. Oh my God, I got to write the book. Oh my God, I got to do this thing. I feel like the to-do list is just like infinitely like just rolling out like fine print in front of me. And I feel stressed and it feels clunky and it feels hard. And what do I know gets me back in flow? I have the language for this now, neutral. Most of the time, people say a walk in nature, stepping away from the computer, moving my body, getting into the kitchen, getting into my human design environment. But going into neutral always gets me back in flow. When I don't know which way the flow is going into neutral is going to put me in flow. The same way if you were in water and the wind was blowing and you were like, shit, like I don't know which way the flow is going because everything's so choppy. If you were to put your oars up and just float for a minute, you would find where the flow is going and you'd be able to align yourself to it. Everyone in the world is connected to the same flow. Everything and everyone. Imagine the Milky Way like this. You guys can imagine the Milky Way, that spiral. That's the flow. That's the Tao. Everybody's connected to it. You can pull yourself out of it and try and drag people with you, but it's going to feel like swimming upstream. It's going to feel really hard. To go along with it is to feel like you're being twirled by the universe the way that you were meant to. For somebody that loves to do things, you could literally just work all of the time, but you wouldn't be happy. You wouldn't be happy about it. And even me, when I'm like, oh my God, I've got 3 uninterrupted hours of work, I start to feel kind of gritty afterwards because I've been in an active state of flow for too long. So if you're new to working with and to understand the 3 states of flow is to become more dexterous, to be more to have a better physical understanding, something that's very practical, tactile, something you can actually with your hands, not just an abstract thought. To be working with the 3 states of flow is to master the fourth dimension, which is time. The fourth dimension is time. When you understand one dimension completely, you naturally start to wrap your mind around the following dimension. We started off with the first 3 dimensions: length, height, depth. When we couldn't possibly taken any more information about what creates the 3D realm, we started to become aware of a fourth dimension, which is our location. We are always at a certain location in space, and we're always at a certain location in time. I'm in New York on January something, 2026. This is my location in space and time. Really important dimension to know. But time is not like propaganda. Time is not something that you have to override. Time is the fourth dimension. Time and space are always working together to get you what you need. Let me give you guys a metaphor. My husband very much wanted to get a new car. And I was telling him it's not the right time to get a new car right now. You're feeling grabby. You figured out that you can buy cars online. Now, every time you're taking a 45-minute shit, you're shopping for a fourth vehicle. I don't drive. We don't need as many vehicles, but it's not the right time. He's like, well, how do you know it's not the right time? There's this price, there's this thing. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Brand new to online shopping. I've been an online shopper forever. So I know about these auctions and the scarcity and stuff. But I was like, you don't have space for a new vehicle. We don't look outside right now. Where are you going to put a new vehicle? If there isn't space, it's not the right time. If there isn't space, it's not the right time. When people are getting very controlling, there's no other way to say it. If you take a pill called birth control for long enough, you're going to feel like you control birth. And just the words of this alone are giving you a false sense of hope because doctors can control when a fetus can be arranged in the womb, but as far as like a soul coming to earth, that's a divine act. And the space that a baby needs to grow in is the right womb. Now, every single month, the female body sheds the lining of the uterus. Layer is removed every single month until the perfect layer for gestating that human is present. You can't do a womb scraping to make that space happen faster. Space is the third force. Third force, anytime I do a triangle, I'm talking about the law of three. On Earth, we're obsessed with duality. It's like the illusion that we're all born into. I want this, I can't have it. Good, evil, right, wrong, bap, 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 bap. But the truth is that there's three forces to everything. Three forces to every single thing. So we talked about time having flow having three states, active, passive, and neutral. To create a baby, the three forces, sperm, active, swims towards the egg. Egg, passive, inputs the sperm. Is it selecting? Yes. Is it running after the sperm? No. Ladies, be the ovum. If he wanted to, he would. Don't you be booking that flight to California for a booty call. The egg stays where it is and makes a selection. The egg does not book that overnight flight to Berlin to go chasing some sperm. The egg is the passive receiver. The sperm chases the egg. The sperm competes. The egg waits. But even with a sperm and an egg, if there's not the right space, then it's not the right time. At the right time, the space appears. My husband doesn't want to hear, you want a new car? Clear some space. Clear some space, then it'll be time to get a car. A lot of people looking for their soulmate don't want to hear, homie, when that soulmate arrives, half your closet space is going to be gone. Half your time is going to be gone. Clear some space in your schedule. You're living in your car right now. This is not the right space for your relationship. You do not want to live in your car with a man. When the space is right, it's the right time. Understanding that time is not a schedule, it's a flow, but schedules can be helpful. Understanding that the universe always has to clear space first and really living by this, understanding, really not knowing it, but understanding it, being able to tell yourself on a day-by-day basis, what do I need more of? Have I been really active today? I think I should get some neutral. Have I been very passive today? And it's going to feel like this morning I didn't want to go into passive because I'm like, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm not going to input. I'm not going to watch social media. I'm not going to listen to an audio book. I should be productive. I have all this time, right? No. Maybe I needed some passive time to round things out. Maybe I needed some neutral time. When you align yourself with flow, when you're able to see your life as constantly offering you some medicine, hey, would you like to unplug? Hey, would you like to plug in? Hey, would you like to study? You really feel like you're constantly moving forward, and you are. You're moving forward in an easeful way because you're constantly in flow. To understand how this works for your life and for your creative process makes everything easier. And then throughout the doing of all of this, you're mastering the fourth dimension. What happens when you master one dimension? You can process the next one. You'll start to be able to wrap your head around the fifth dimension. But the problem with where we are currently living in time and space is that it's really trendy to talk about things like quantum leaping. Who here has heard about quantum leaping? Create an alternate reality and jump timelines. That's a fifth dimensional thing. That's something that you do in the fifth dimension. Multiple realities, multiple timelines, like the movie Sliding Doors. Who here has heard about manifesting? Create a reality where you want this thing and just manifest it, and you'll wake up and you're there one day. That's fifth dimension stuff. Can you go 1, 2, 3, 5? Is it possible to go 1, 2, 3, 5? A lot of people think it is. And they think that by just telling themselves, oh, time isn't linear. Okay, so it's not linear, but what is it? It's something. It's not something that you can just throw out. Even if we take all spirituality out of it, anybody with even like a cursory understanding of how psychology works, of how mental blocks work, of how personal narratives work, you can't just uproot something that has been governing your entire existence since birth, as well as the existence of everybody you know, and just say, oh, it's an illusion. It's not an illusion. It's a very specific thing. So, when the word time was invented, the Greeks invented the word time, and they had two faculties of time, Kronos and Chyros. Kronos and Chyros. Kronos was the father of all the Titans, and Kronos, from whence we get the word chronology, chronological, Kronos, time that's based on minutes, the right minute to do something. Kronos was the god of the Titan, was the father of the Titans, and it was prophesied that one of his children was going to kill him. So every time one of his kids were born, he would eat them. And something's really interesting about mythology, whether you're looking at like Egyptian mythology, Nut, or Kronos, god of the Titans, father of the Titans. In mythology, when somebody eats their children or is pregnant, the children keep growing to like full grown adults, and the act of being pregnant or having something in your body starts to become very painful for you. The symbolism of this is that like whatever you don't let out keeps growing. Whatever you're not permitted to release is going to keep growing inside of you. Whatever you don't talk about will eventually destroy you. So Kronos was one of many gods, but was the oldest looking of all of the gods, and was this self-devouring idea of time. There's never enough time. When you're focused on one function of time only, which is a time of minutes, Kronos, this is the energy you're in. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. Time is not my friend. There's not enough. There's not enough. That's one factor of time, Kronos. And you guys can be disgusted by this idea of Kronos, but most spiritual people need to learn how to work with Kronos time. So just, full disclosure, this guy's about to become your friend. The other word for time was Chyros, and Chyros means hand or weather. So Chyro, like chiropractor. Kairos means weather. And Kairos is the moments. Time is moments. So back when the word time, when time existed was when we named it. This is the importance of etymology. Kairos was a very interesting looking god. Kairos was very young and very happy. Kairos had a really weird haircut. He was bald in the front, but he had a long, long, like rat tail in the back. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The reverse. He had a long curly hair in the front and he was bald in the back. Strange looking guy. Chyros was a very fast, very young, very friendly god, the complete opposite of Kronos. And the reason why his hair was like this, because if you could see Chyros coming, you could grab the lock of hair at the front of his head and go on a ride. He could take you for a ride. But if Chyros passed you, he was bald in the back. There was nothing to grab onto, and you've missed it. If you know to be on the lookout for the right moment, you can catch that moment when it's coming by. But once the moment has passed, it's gone. That's why Kyros's hair is that way. Long in the front, bald in the back. Now, Kairos, this function of time, and the Greeks had to use both because we could say in Kronos time, I'm going to meet you in the town square at 1 o'clock. But if it's raining, it's not the right moment. So we could use Kairos time like they do in Costa Rica and say, I will meet you after the rainstorm. When you're setting goals for yourself, Kronos time is so useful. A lot of spiritual people only want to do things when they're inspired and they don't realize that they can set a date for themselves. I'm going to have this done. I'm going to have, here's a big reveal for you guys. I'm going to have the Science of Sales Masterclass ready by January 22nd. You can set that Kronos deadline and then be so impressed to see that your creativity is way more versatile than you ever thought. You can write in the morning, you can write in the evening, you can bust it all out the night before. When spiritual people are like, nothing's really moving in my business, my book isn't moving, my business isn't moving, most of the time it's because they haven't set a deadline. On a deadline, I don't know about you guys, but I don't respect the deadline that I made to myself. I have to tell other people the deadline. I usually make it public from the get-go. That's my Capricorn trick. Loud public deadlines that I would be mortified to miss. That's how I make things happen. Kairos, on the other hand, is really good for, well, literally everything else. So, for example, in our home, we can say, we will go to the grocery store after Tyga's nap. We wouldn't say we'll go to the grocery store at 2 o'clock. So it's not about choosing one type of time or the other. It's about using them both together. So what do you think you need more of in your life right now? Do you think you need more of a flow-based thinking? Or do you think you need to set a deadline and get it done? Let's recap what we covered here. 3 states of flow: active, passive, and neutral. If you're feeling stressed, you're probably getting too much of one of these because you've conflated productivity with active time only. That's okay. Now you know. What do you need more of today? Have you taken in a lot? That's passive time. You need active and neutral. Have you put out a lot? That's a lot of active time. You need passive and neutral. Has it just been loud in general? That's a lot of active or passive. You need neutral. How do you know when you're in flow? How do you know when you're out of flow? What do you know always gets you back in flow? 3 most important questions that you could ask yourself. 2 kinds of time. I'm sorry, 2 kinds of time. Kronos time and Kairos time. If you want to re-listen to this 3 times, that's fine. But there's not a lot of people that are teaching you how to master the 4th dimension. And the reason why spiritual work isn't really hitting for you isn't because it's too, what's the opposite of advanced? Too rudimentary. It's that it's too advanced. What's making my work land for you is because I'm teaching simpler stuff, not 5th dimension things, 4th dimension. I'm not asking that you quantum leap and become an expert in going 1, 2, 3, 5. 4 is an illusion. We're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.